called Introduction to the Algorithms. We need to know what is meant by the problem solving. What is our subject name is what? Programming for problem solving. In why the people are assigned the subject name as what? Programming for problem solving. And what is meant by problem solving? Today's everyone is using computers. Why the people are using something as what? Computers. We use them for doing what? Why the people are using the computers here means for various tasks. To Some people are using computers for calculation purpose. Some people are using computers for what? Presentation purpose. Some people are using computers for what? Some browsing purpose. Like that, many people are using the computers for doing various tasks in which way, in a faster and more accurate manner. In a faster and more accurate manner. And examples of the computers means what are the things we are examples of problem solving means what are the examples we have been indicated here means a computer, smartphone, and a book train ticket online. These are the things we are indicating as what examples for what problem solving. And what is meant by the problem solving? And here computerization, how the problem is going to be solved here means we need to make our activity as what? Computerization. What is meant by the computerization means the use of the computer to develop a software in order to automate any routine human task efficiently. Nothing but what? Developing a project, developing a software project by using the computer, and that project is useful for the many people in an automated manner. Suppose there is a weather report project is there, then every day it is going to show the weather report automatically it is showing the weather report. And like that, here what is the problem? Inside the problem solving, what is meant by the computerization? Computerization nothing but what? The use of the computer to develop a software in order to automate any routine human task efficiently. And nothing but what? Developing a project on the computer, we are going to be called it as what? Computerization. And computers are used for what? Solving various day-to-day problems. Such problems solving is what? Essential skill that a computer science student should know. First of all, what is the thing a computer science student must mandatorily needs to know? How to solve the problems using the what? Computer. And how that problem is going to be computerized, how the task is going to be computerized. And here general definitions of the problem solving, we are indicating it as what? The success of a computer in solving a problem depends on what? The success of the computer in solving a problem depends on what? How correctly and precisely we define a problem. How correctly we have defined a problem. And design a solution. That solution, designing a solution, we are going to be called it as what? Algorithm. Designing a solution, we are going to be called it as what? Algorithm. And implementing the solution, we are going to be called it as what? Implementing the solution, we are going to be called it as what? Program. That solution has been implemented by using what? One programming language. Either it is a C programming, or either it is a C++, or either it is a Java. And here all of you listen carefully here. Suppose I want to define a I am having a problem in calculating the addition of two numbers. Addition of two numbers means how you are going to define. You need to take the input as what? Input of what? A and B variables. And what is the output? You need to return A plus B value, you need to be written. And that is the way of defining the problem. And how that problem is going to be defined, we are going to be indicated manually. And after that, instead of writing the programmatical code directly, the people are going to write manually one manually written code. That manually written code we are going to be called it as what? Manually written code we are going to be called it as what? Design a solution called algorithm. And on the by using some high level programming languages, we are going to implement that task. And such task we are going to be called it as what? Implementing such task we are called on the high level programming. By using high level programming language, we are calling it as what? Program. uh, and mm, by using high level programming language called what? uh, uh, and here we are going to discuss about the what? Introduction to the what? Problem solving. Introduction to the what? Problem solving. And inside the introduction to the problem solving is a process of identifying what? Problems, and developing what? Algorithms for the identified problem, and finally implementing the algorithms to develop a computer program. And that algorithm we are converting that algorithm into a program. We are going to be called it as what? uh, uh, by how that algorithm is converted it into a program means by using some high level language. And such type of these, if you are implementing these three steps means we are going to be called it as what? Program. Problem solving, we are going to be called it as what? Problem solving. And here what are the steps are involved in problem solving here? What are the steps are being involved for problem solving? What is the first step is there for the problem solving here means analyzing the problem. And the second step is what? Developing an algorithm. And the third step we are going to be have as what? Coding. And fourth step, whether it is working for the given input, for the given input it is giving the right output or not, it is accepting the correct inputs or not. And such type of thing we are going to be called it as what? Testing and debugging. Testing and debugging. And what are the steps are involved in problem solving means first step as what? Analyzing the problem. And the second step as what? Developing an algorithm, we are going to be called it as what? Algorithm. Second step. And third step nothing but what? Converting this algorithm into a programmatical language code, we are going to be called it as what? Coding. And whether it is properly working or not, whether for the given input it is giving the right kind of output or not, and whether it is having any problems inside the code, such type of things we are going to be called it as what? Testing and debugging. We are going to be called it as what? Testing and debugging here. And here what are the uh, what is meant by the analyzing the problem? What is, which type of thing we are going to be called it as what? Analyzing the problem. uh, Analyzing the problem is nothing but what? Clearly understanding the problem before we begin to find the solution for it. uh, okay, suppose if anybody assigned a task, before solving the task we need to understand the task, that problem, to be understood clearly. If we understood clearly only, then only we are going to solve that, then only we are going to find a solution for it. And such type of thing we are going to be called it as what? Analyzing the problem. In the software companies they are going to provide something as documentation. And they are going to assign the task in the form of documentation. We need to read the documentation clearly, and we need to assign the analyze the problem statement carefully. We need to read that documentation clearly, and analyze the problem statement carefully. Now, for what purpose, why we are analyzing here means in order to list the what? Principal components of the problem, and decide the core functionalities that our solution should have. Suppose if you want to if anybody asks us to, if anybody asks us to to develop a calculator application, then what is the calculator application means? What is the tasks it is going to be done? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, such type of functionalities it is going to have. And in like that, what is the purpose of using that project, and for what purpose we are developing that project, we need to be analyzed. and how that project is going to be done. And by we need to find out finding a solution to that particular task, we are going to be called it as what, analyzing the problem. And here what is the how we are going to be analyzed here means, for the task what is the inputs, what are the inputs that our program should accept, what are the inputs that a program should accept, we need to be decided. And for those inputs what is the output it need to be produced. What is the in by analyzing what are the things we are going to be find out here means, what are the things we are going to be figure out here means, what are the inputs that our program should accept, what are the inputs that our program should accept, and output that it should produce. Such type of thing we are going to be called it as what, such type of thing we are going to be called it as what, analyzing the problem. And what is the second step here means, develop an algorithm. And algorithm nothing but what, solution is represented in a which manner, natural language, called, we are going to be called it as what, algorithm. And what is meant by the algorithm means, what is the whatever the solution we have analyzed, whatever the solution we have find out it, that solution we are representing in a natural language. What is our natural language? Every human is going to write his manually, he is going to write the steps in the form of what, English, for understanding purpose. Like that, the solution is represented in a natural language, we are calling it as what, algorithm. Suppose mm here you know one recipe, how that recipe is going to be done, how that recipe is going to be done, you are going to write the steps. First step, second step, what is the thing we need to do, third step, what is the thing we need to do, and final step, what is the thing we need to be done. Such type of writing the steps we are going to be called it as what, writing of steps we are going to be called it as what, algorithm. And here algorithm means what, for a given problem more than one algorithm is possible. Suppose suppose if anybody given some task as what, sorting, and inside the sorting there are different types of mechanisms we are going to have. Some people are going to write the logic in the form of bubble sort logic, some people are going to write the logic in the form of insertions logic, insertion sort logic, some people are going to write the logic in the form of what, selection sort logic. And each to solve one problem is, some of the problems have uh, uh, are going to have multiple solutions. And here for a given problem more than one algorithm is possible. For any kind of problem, for some kind of problems, what is the thing is possible here means, more than one algorithm is possible. We have to select the what, inside that, which one is efficient, which one is inefficient, what are the advantages are there, what are the disadvantages are there. And by analyzing that we need to choose one of the best algorithm, best one. And we need to develop a best algorithm here. And after writing the algorithms, what is the thing the people are going to do here is, they are going to convert that algorithm into some code by using some high level programming language. And such type of thing we are going to be called it as what, coding. After finalizing the algorithm, we need to convert that algorithm into the format which can be understood by a computer, to a desired, to generate the what, desired solution, to generate the what, desired solution. Inside, to do the coding means, what is the thing we are going to be using to do the coding means, the people are going to use some high level programming languages like Java, C, C++. Here inside this subject we are going to use the high level programming language as what, C. And here we can write the what, high level programming languages can be used for what, writing a program. High level programming languages are used for what, writing the program. And here what is the thing we are going to be done here, while writing the program we need to parallelly we need to maintain the what, we need to record what are the so for a project. mm, for a project we are not going to have a single program, we are going to have multiple programs. Those things we are going to be called it as what, multiple modules. Suppose calculator project is there, For that, the people are going to write the module of addition as separate, module of subtraction as separate, module of multiplication as separate, and whatever the code they are writing, they are going to record that code inside the what, record that procedure inside the what, documentation. Suppose in the future, we have developed only a basic calculator project. I want to convert that basic calculator project into the what, scientific calculator project. Then what are the where we are going to write the new modules inside the existing modules? What are the things we are going to be changed? So to review that project means what is the what is the thing is going to be useful for second time means documentations and the solutions. If we record means we can, it is a very much useful in upgrading that project. And here what is the coding is, this is reviewing is what, this is helpful when revisiting the programs at later stage. If you maintain the documentation, recording whatever the activities you are doing, your recording means when it is going to be useful means this is useful when revisiting the programs at a later stage. And this type of thing we are going to be called it as what, a coding. This type of thing we are going to be called it as what, a coding. And after successful coding, generally after writing the program, what is the thing you are going to do? You are going to press some alt F9 for what, you are going to press some alt F9 for what, compilation. And if it is, if the program is not showing any errors means you are going to execute the program by pressing the what, control F9. So and while running also, for the right kind of for the given input, it is giving the correct proper output means the program has been tested successfully. And here what is meant by the testing here means testing and debugging nothing but what, a program created should be tested on various parameters. Various parameters means suppose you have developed a chess game application. You have developed a chess game application. Inside that, inside the I think all of you know the chess game application. And here inside the chess there are different kinds, camel, horse, like that we are going to have different kinds. Suppose if I am moving the camel means it is not moving in a diagonal position means whether the project has been done in a proper manner or not means it has not done in a proper manner. And if it is if the horse is moving in a diagonal means you have written the logic of camel to the horse, you have written the logic of horse to the what, camel. When you are going to be find out when you are going to find out that mistake here means when you are going to find out that mistake means after writing of the program while testing and doing the debugging, there you are going to find some what are the things you are going to be find out at here means you are going to find out some compile time errors as well as what, runtime errors. And here what is the such type of scenario we are going to be called it as what, testing and debugging. Such type of scenario we are going to be called it as what, testing and debugging. Here what are the things we are indicating here means the program created should be tested on what, various parameters. Suppose you have written a addition of two numbers, you need to give the input as what, 10 20. After that you need to give the input as what, 11.5 and 16.2. And you need to give the input as what, 10 and 16.5, like that multiple parameters, different way parameters we need to send and we need to test whether it is giving the right kind of desired output or not. Program should meet the what, requirements of the user, whether the program is meeting to the requirements of the user or not, we need to be checked. Why it is needed here means if it is not matching to the requirements of the user means the user is not going to use that project. The user is not going to use that project. That's why to make the project to be used by the users means we need to test it in a proper manner. We need to test that project in a proper manner. And how that testing should be done means the program should meet the what, requirements of the what, user. and it must respond within the expected time. Suppose if you give the input as 10 and 20, it is giving after result after 1 hour means, it is giving the result after 1 hour means the program is taking the huge amount of time. And if you are giving it in the 10-20 means, within the fraction of seconds it is giving the output back means, then only the people are going to use that project. And here what is the we need to check how much amount of the time it is taking for giving the output, how much amount of the time it is taking time for in giving the output. Such type of thing we are calling it as what, it must respond within the expected time, and it should generate correct output for all the possible inputs. It should generate correct output for all the what possible inputs. And here inside, while testing and debugging, what is the thing, in presence of what syntactical errors, no output will be obtained. Suppose if inside the program, if any syntactical errors are there means, the program is not going to be executed. The program should not be what executed. And in case the output is generated is incorrect, then the program should be checked for the what logical errors. Suppose if it is giving 10 plus 20 means, it is giving the result as a 10 itself. Then what is the where the error has been occurred here means, instead of writing a plus b, you have written a. That's why it is giving the output as what 10. Such type of there you need to recognize that logic where the problem is arised, and you need to solve those logical errors. You need to overcome those logical errors. And such type of thing we are calling it as what, in the case of output generated is incorrect, then the program should be checked for the what logical errors, if any. And here what are the different types of testings are going to be done inside the software industry. Suppose if you are testing a single program means, you are going to be called it as what, only testing a single program means, you are going to be called it as what, unit or component testing. If you are testing multiple programs at a time means, we are going to be called it as what, integrated integration testing. We are going to be called it as what, integration testing. And if you are testing the whole project at a time means, you are going to be called it as what, system testing. We are going to be called it as what, system testing. And here we are going to acceptance testing while developing the what, complex application. These are the inside the software industry, the people are going to do what are the different types of testing methods they are going to use means, some unit testing, component testing. Unit or component nothing but what, individual program testing. We are going to be called it as what, unit or component testing. And if you are testing some multiple programs, group of programs, means you are going to be called it as what, you are testing one module of the program, one module of the project. One module of the project means, we are going to be called it as what, integration testing. And if you are testing the entire project at a time means, you are going to be called it as what, system testing. You are going to be called it as what, system testing. And what is the other kind of testings we are going to have here means, sometimes we are going to test dynamically while developing the project itself. Developing the project, acceptance testing, whether the project is accepted or not, whether the project is not having any drawbacks, or whether the project is working in a proper manner or not means, we are going to do something as what, before releasing the project, the people are going to do some testing called acceptance testing. Acceptance testing while developing the what, complex applications. And here what is the thing we need to ensure, to ensure that the software meets all the business and technical requirements, and the works as expected. And what are the things we are going to be, errors or defects are found inside the what, testing phase, are debugged and rectified. If you are solving those errors and defects means, such type of things we are going to be called it as what, after rectifying, what is the thing we are going to be done, debugged or rectified, and the program is again being tested. The program is again being tested.
And testing and debugging, this is continuous till the errors are removed from the program. And if you are solving all the problems, error related problems, uh, then only from this phase you are going to enter into the next phase. Otherwise this process is going to be continuous, repeated, continuous till the errors are removed from the what program. Once the software application has been developed, testing and delivered to the user. And suppose after, if successful testing and debugging, what is the thing we are going to be done, delivered to the what we are going to release our project to the what user. And this is all about what testing and debugging. And suppose what is meant by the maintenance of the solution, what is meant by the maintenance. uh, Most of the times we are going to purchase something as what most of the times we are going to purchase, in the real time scenario we are going to purchase something as washing machines or television, like that. Then that company is going to give something as a 2 years warranty, 3 years warranty, a lifetime warranty, like that they are going to provide some service. Why they are going to provide the service here means, at the starting time the people are going to face, whoever the users are there, whoever the users are using that particular machines, they are going to face some problems. And uh, to solve those, to rectify whatever the problems they are facing, to fix those problems, the people are, what is the thing they are going to have here means, we are going to call for the customer care. Whatever the problem we are facing, we are going to share that problem. Then they are going to give some solution to our problem. And such type of thing we are going inside the software industry also. After releasing the project, suppose inside that project, if they are facing any problems means, to fix those problems, fixing those problems, we are going to be called it as what, fixing of those problems at runtime, we are going to be called it as what, the maintenance of the solution. We are going to call it as what, maintenance of the solution. Involves fixing the problems faced by the user, answer the queries of the user, and even serving the request for addition or modification of the futures. And here such type of doing work, we are going to be called it as what, maintenance. Some people are going to say, on which type of project you are working means, maintenance. That project has already been developed, already been released, and they are just working as what, support. They are working as a tech support. And such type of thing we are going to be called it as what, maintenance of the project. Such type of thing we are going to be called it as what, maintenance. And that maintenance of a solution is going to be done inside the what, testing and debugging. And here what is the these are the things we are calling it as what, these are the steps are being involved inside the what, uh, problem solving steps. Analyzing the problem, developing an algorithm. After developing an algorithm, what is the thing we are going to do? Coding. After coding, what is the thing we are going to do? Testing and debugging. And here what is the inside the software industry, they are going to follow some model called waterfall model. And initial, to before solving the problem, before find outing after finding the problem, they are going to find out some system requirements. What are the system requirements means what? Suppose if you are constructing a new house, then you are going to plan something as what, how many rooms are needed, what is the material is needed, and how you want to construct, whether you want to construct a building or whether you want to construct a hut. Such type of things we are going to be such type of things we are going to be called it as what, system requirement. And depending on the system requirements, how the problem is going to be solved, how the problem we want to be designed, such type of thing we are going to be called it as what, analysis. After analysis, we are going to design nothing but what, while doing the while constructing the house, before constructing the house, the people are going to design a plan called a blueprint. And depending on that blueprint, the people are going to construct. Here also, depending on some diagrammatical representations, depending on some algorithms, depending on some flow charts, we are going to write the high level language programmatical code. Depending on the code, what is the thing is going to be done? Coding is going to be done. And depending on the after writing the code, what is the thing we are going to be done? We are going to do something as what? Testing. We are going to do some activity as what? Testing, whether that code has been written properly or not. For the given input, it is giving the right kind of output or not. After successful testing, what is the thing we are going to do? We are going to do the activity as what? Maintenance. And is the user is satisfied with this solutions or not? If the user is having any user is finding any finding user is finding any problems inside the existing project, and such type of thing we are going to be called it as what? Maintenance. And here, what is the other thing we are having here means we can come from system testing to the maintenance. From maintenance to again we are going to move to the what? System test. Or from the system test, again we are going to move back to the what? Coding, if any coding modifications are needed. Again we are from the coding we are going to move back to the what? Designing. Inside the design, if you want to change any updations like this type of model we are going to be called it as waterfall model. And this type of scenario we are going to be called it as what? Software development life cycle. The people are going to call it as what? Software development life cycle. And inside the software development life cycle, what are the things we are having? System requirements, analysis, design, code, testing, and maintenance.